tariff increases will be significantly larger than expected. And the same is likely to be true of the economic effects.
Right now at 5, investors are wary what President Trump is doing to reassure Wall Street as stocks plummet.
March's job report is released, the gains being seen amid an escalating trade war.
And calming visitors of a Wisconsin resort will hear from the artist with autism behind the Kalahari's new piece. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
President Trump says his move to put tariffs on all imported goods will result in a rebuilt economy where items are made and purchased in America. But investors are very wary of the claims.
Just heard the closing bell today, another long one on Wall Street. Erica Brown now with more details from Capitol Hill.
Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell says President Trump's sweeping new tariffs run the risk of long-term pain for the economy.
It is now becoming clear that tariff increases will be significantly larger than expected. And the same is likely to be true of the economic effects, which will include higher inflation and slower growth.
Earlier Friday, Trump took to social media, urging Powell to cut interest rates and stop playing politics. Powell says the Fed needs more data on the tariffs' impact before making a move.
We're well positioned to wait for greater clarity before considering any adjustments to our policy stance.
The Fed says it will be monitoring how other countries respond to Trump's tariffs. On Friday, China announced a 34% retaliatory tariff on all American products. The markets tumbled for the second day with the news of the retaliatory tariffs against the U.S., but administration officials insist a rebound will come as American manufacturing is restored.
Markets are crashing because markets are based on the stock value of companies who today are embedded in modes of production that are bad for the United States.
President Trump says he's open to negotiating with trade partners and spoke with the leader of Vietnam, where many American companies manufacture shoes, apparel, electronics, and other products. Trump says Vietnam wants to cut their tariffs down to zero if they are able to make an agreement with the U.S. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
And Nintendo announcing it is delaying pre-orders in the U.S. of its new console, the Nintendo Switch 2. That's in order to evaluate the newly announced tariffs. All the impacts of those tariffs today, worse than yesterday. The Dow Jones tumbling another 2,231 points. The NASDAQ now in a bear market after losing another 963 points, and the S&P 500 falls another 322.
These tariffs have some car dealers in the area worried. Joe Hamblock has worked in the automotive industry for more than 40 years and currently runs a dealership across the border in Belvidere, Illinois. He says he has never seen a scenario quite like what's happening now with tariffs.
Well, I'm not sure we fully understand the impacts of the tariffs at this point. We do fully support American manufacturing. That's very important. And so how we get there, I don't really know.
Hamblock suggests buying soon if you're in the market for a new car, and the same goes for repairs if that's something that you need to have done.
No showers are on the way. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington on the weather patio with who's going to see this rain, Alex?
Yeah, and actually, as I look up here, Eric, and I look at the clouds, we have this kind of a white, milky sky. What that tells me is the air is very dry. So as we look at future track right now and we put that into motion, we can see that these showers are coming up from the south and from the west. And the best areas of having rainfall making it to the ground is going to be Madison at points to south and east as the atmosphere gets a little bit more wet. So it's battling this dry air that we have right now. Radar 3000 showing some of those showers trying to get into western Grant County and over towards Monroe, but they're struggling a bit because of this dry air in place. And as I just mentioned, right out here in the patio, the air is dry based upon what I'm seeing with the clouds up here high up. As we look and plan the evening, eventually those raindrops are expected to make it to the ground as we get a little bit later, planning your evening with raindrops around the Madison area as we head towards the 10 o'clock newscast. Now we have more than just raindrops in the forecast. I'm tracking some snow coming up.
All right, Alex, thank you very much.
The body of one of the boaters who went missing yesterday has been found.
3 people were on a boat on the Wisconsin River Thursday afternoon when it flipped over. One boater was able to safely make it to shore, but divers had to look for the other 2 until conditions simply got too dangerous. They resumed their search this morning. That boat capsized just south of Kilbourne Dam. We don't know the name of the boaters involved. A Madison woman is arrested after failing to appear in a Dodge County courtroom on Tuesday. A judge placed Janelle Hill on a $500 bond after she failed to appear in court for a review hearing. It's over a charge of reckless homicide related to an inmate's death at the Waupun Correctional Institution. Back on June 8th of 2022, an inmate was found in his cell acting erratically. He was taken to a medical unit where he later died. Balloons filled with cocaine and fentanyl were found in his intestines. It was determined the man died from the cocaine. The inmate was Hill's boyfriend. The day before his death, surveillance video shows Hill passing something to the man. They also had been in contact with each other on cell phones. The inmate's phone was found in his cell. Hill's arraignment is scheduled for May 20th. And dramatic courtroom video from Fond du Lac. Convicted killer Taylor Schabusiness attacking her attorney again. Schabusiness serving a life sentence for a 2022 murder in Green Bay. This morning, she had lunged towards her attorney during a preliminary hearing on a charge that she had assaulted a prison guard. Officials in the courtroom, as you saw, quickly subdued her. Back in 2023, Schabusiness attacked her attorney during a motion hearing.
More than 100 drivers did not follow the rules of the road during Dane County's annual Safe Driving Initiative. In a 2-week period earlier this month, a total of 126 drivers were ticketed for running a red light or a stop sign. It's part of Dane County's red light stop sign running campaign. 18 agencies reported 1,300 traffic citations, and in total, over 1,700 traffic stops were made during the campaign.
A robust jobs report for the month of March rolled out in the shadow of the escalating trade war. The Labor Department report shows the U.S. added 228,000 jobs last month, far exceeding expectations, and unemployment ticked up slightly to 4.2%. Healthcare saw strong gains, but there was no big movement in manufacturing, and federal employment declined amid the Trump administration's ongoing efforts to shrink the government payroll.
We know that announced job cuts have totaled more than 200,000, so it's going to take some time, assuming that those job cuts are sustained, for it to show up in the data.
And another technicality on those federal job cuts: workers either placed on administrative leave or receiving severance are still considered employed when it comes to the Labor Department's tally.
A portion of downtown Madison could soon look a little different. The city is requesting proposals for the development of Block 113 downtown, formerly known as Brayton Lot. The 2-acre site allows for redevelopment of up to 10 stories, with 2 additional stories possible. Proposals will be judged by how they score across 8 sections outlined in the project scope and specifications portion of the request.
April is Autism Acceptance Month, and experts say more businesses and organizations are designing more spaces for people on the spectrum.
One of those is at the Kalahari Water Park in Wisconsin Dells. Arman Rahman takes us there.
I'm standing inside Kalahari Resort's 3rd and newest calming room for kids with sensory and neurodivergent challenges. And what's unique about this one is this piece behind me that ties the room together in more ways than one.
It gets really loud and obnoxious outside. This is the perfect place to just come, relax, let those anxieties go down.
This calming room in Kalahari Resort is something Grant Meunier says he didn't really have as a child on the spectrum.
They were all still learning about autism, figuring out how it all works. What's the deal? How are we going to help these kids?
But according to behavioral health specialists at SSM Health's Trefford Center, it's now becoming more common.
Millions of people across the world experience sensory differences, not just those that are diagnosed with autism.
We have an assortment of different toys, sensory-friendly toys, of course.
Grant is a behavioral technician at SSM Health's Trefford Studios in Fond du Lac, where he helps fellow neurodivergent people express their talents.
I'm also assisting with recording, voice recording especially. I lend my voice, and I also lend my expertise to those who are also recording their own voices as well. A lot of kids like these.
We've listened to autistic voices and the neurodivergent people that we have supported over the years, the fuller community, to say, what is calming mean to you?
Like Grant says, he didn't have this growing up, so how did he get through it?
I would definitely not be who I am without my mom.
And that's what led to this piece of art that watches over the calming room.
Grant represents me. Mama Jules represents my own mom.
They're characters in Grant's book series, Grant the Jigsaw Giraffe,
Instead, he was born with jigsaw puzzle markings instead,
which he's pieced together to help kids who may feel like they don't fit in.
to showcase my art to kids that even though I have a disability, autism, I can still create something amazing, and they can do the same thing as well.
Reporting in Wisconsin Dells, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you. SSM Health's Treffert Center and Treffert Studios in Fond du Lac are named after Dr. Harold Treffert, best known for his work with those who are neurodivergent and on the autism spectrum. Still to come at 5, a SpaceX capsule lands safely in the Pacific Ocean.
And President Trump pushes back TikTok's ban deadline, how the app may be used in the ongoing trade war between the United States and China. Stay with us.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
President Trump is granting another extension for TikTok to find a new buyer or face a ban in the U.S.
The president took to social media saying that he's signing an executive order to keep the popular social media platform up and running for an additional 75 days as the U.S. continues to work with TikTok and China to close a deal. TikTok's Chinese parent company had faced a Saturday deadline to sell the app to a U.S.-based buyer to prevent it from going dark nationwide.
Now that we're at each other's throats, this trade war getting hot and getting even hotter, it really does look like TikTok might be sort of a bargaining chip of sorts. And I think that the president and the White House have always seen the platform as something as a point of leverage to extract concessions out of China. China, of course, is deeply reluctant to surrender its control of the platform.
Amazon is among the companies that have put in a bid to acquire TikTok. TikTok's parent company has previously said it has no plans to sell the app.
As a similar TikTok ban deadline approached back in January, frustrated users who called themselves TikTok refugees migrated to another Chinese app called Red Note, but that app has been sparking similar data privacy concerns. The Atlantic Council's Digital Forensic Research Lab has been tracking activity on Red Note, and it links to Chinese state media. The group says there's no question Red Note is less secure.
With Red Note, that's not even a question. The data is definitely stored in China, subject to Chinese law. The CCP can get that data anytime that they wish. Another kind of consideration is if you have the app installed on your phone, like other social media apps, you know, they can track your location. They can even log your keystrokes and know what you're searching, even if you're not using the app.
The organization's report also says the Chinese government has been capitalizing on the influx of frustrated Americans, at least 700,000 in January alone, to push state propaganda.
4 space tourists are back on Earth following a 3.5-day trip of a lifetime. Their SpaceX capsule splashed down in the Pacific Ocean off the Southern California coast as a Chinese Bitcoin investor paid an undisclosed price to make this trip, the first ever human spaceflight to circle the globe over both the North and South Poles. It also marked the first time in 50 years that a spacecraft splashed down in the Pacific Ocean.
It's quite a moment for the crew and for SpaceX as well. This is not a NASA mission. This is a private company launching private citizens to space, and as we just saw, getting them back to Earth successfully. So that's a bit of a coup for SpaceX, although I don't know that anybody was nervous. These things have worked pretty well over the last few years, but I guess it's never routine.
The space tourists endured extreme temperatures upon re-entry, up to 3,500 degrees, and they slowed from 17,000 miles an hour to just 16 miles an hour when their capsule hit the water.
Well, it probably wasn't 3,500 degrees inside, though, I'm thinking.
No,
right?
Yeah, right, not
They
inside.
didn't have too much to endure. Rain is on the way, but not everyone is going to see these showers.
Yeah, that's right, Eric. It's all part of this big weather system we'll be on the north end that's causing yet another tornado outbreak to the south. Our first warned weather team, we're thinking about folks to the south, severe weather and a foot of rain over the course of this weekend. We're on the north side of that weather system. Look at this milky white sky here in Janesville. That's a signature that the air is kind of dry. So when we look at radar 3000 near Janesville, just a couple of showers trying to pop up, and I would put money that some of these sprinkles or showers are still not quite making it to the ground. And of course, nothing here right now in Dane County. But as we plan our evening, eventually those raindrops will start to make it to the ground as we head towards the later evening hours. When you join us for that 10 o'clock newscast, likely going to have some drops close by the area. And not everyone's going to see these showers, as Eric said. They're going to be a bit more few and far between as they put future track into motion here. Notice that the scattered nature of these showers, just about everybody stands the chance of seeing a shower, but as I will say, not everyone's going to see the showers. And as I mentioned last night, the overall amounts of water not very high, kind of eyeing up US Highway 151 where you might sneak a 1/10 of an inch. Again, we can't rule out some isolated pockets of a 1/10 of an inch across the rest of the WISC viewing area, but not a heavy soaking rain, at least not with this rain. Overnight temperatures tonight staying mild because of the clouds, will be in the upper 30s. Take note up here, our average low temperature is 32 for this time of year, so we're a few degrees above normal owing to the clouds and the few showers that are going to be around the area. As we go into Saturday, temperatures in the 40s to right around 50. Breezy conditions. Some of those morning showers still trying to hang on Madison, Monroe, Janesville over towards Watertown during the morning hours, and then eventually we'll be clearing things out. Skies will become partly sunny in the afternoon. So our forecast here for the weekend, winds this weekend not terribly strong on Saturday, a tiny bit on the gusty side, approaching that 15 mile per hour to 25 mile per hour wind gusts. Those morning rain chances will end. And then on Sunday, this might be the better pick of the 2 days this weekend. 51 light winds, mostly sunny, but take a look down here at the bottom. Overnight wintry mix. We're tracking the potential for some snow as we go on into Sunday, going on into the overnight period of Sunday. During the 6 o'clock newscast, I'll give you a glimpse of what that weather system looks like as a cold front comes through southern Wisconsin. Join me at 6 and we'll show you that front. There's that snow chance on Monday. Some decent rain chances Wednesday going into Thursday, but the mercury bumps back up to the 60s to upper 50s to right around 60 degrees. So we'll actually be above normal with those showers. And next Thursday, not expecting severe weather. And because of that, just want to remind, next week is Severe Weather Awareness Week. We're going to be covering severe weather topics each day. And the statewide tornado drill is next Thursday, April 10th at 1:45 p.m. and 6:45 p.m.
Good to know, Alex. Thank you. When we come back at 5, it's never too late to get out and be active. We'll share the story of one 97-year-old man's love of the ice.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
A Milwaukee area hockey player has been on the ice for a long, long time.
Really long time. Mike Kirchhoff shares the story of this 97-year-old's love of the game.
We only got 4. We need one more.
For everybody that skates with us.
You be on defense, huh?
He sets a goal, a bar.
We're going to start from the blue line.
That, oh, well, we hope we're above ground at that point.
Shoot!
And can still move and do things like he's doing.
Woo!
He's, I think, very kind.
Good job, Bob.
He's also kind of tough.
Who wants it?
If he doesn't like that you took the puck from him, he might give you a little chop with his stick.
Gene Wagner, I'll be 98 in May, born in 1927, and been active all my life.
All 97 years and counting.
That's it, you got it.
Twice a week, Gene and the rest of the Bald Eagles Hockey Club take the ice and drop the puck at the Ozaki Ice Center. The Bald Eagles are a 55 and over, non-competitive,
no checking today,
non-checking pickup hockey club.
Why not?
Gene started it when he was a much younger man, 72 years old.
Ever since that time, we've had enough players show up for a hockey game. And that's what I wanted.
We first met Gene back in 2018 on his 91st birthday.
It's a good day, but they're letting me shoot, though, too.
Since then, the coronavirus pandemic, 2 mini strokes, a loss of confidence on the ice, and a new line mate.
Debbie Donovan, okay. You're over here with me, okay?
That let him through.
Debbie came along. She helped me a lot, and I'm very thankful for that. You helped me, remember? She just right alongside of me, kind of held me up, and away we went.
I think he's an inspiration for the rest of us. He certainly is for me.
Got to respect him for being out there.
Bald Eagles co-president Mike Ismey agrees.
The fact that he's 97 and still plays, but he doesn't just play, he's actually pretty good. You saw him out there.
But it's Gene who says he's inspired by them.
A lot of them are in their 70s. I mean, that's not easy to play hockey when you're in your 70s. So I figure if they can do it, I can do it.
And with 4 generations of his family watching rinkside,
We had 3 or 4 fans.
his advice?
You're up.
Never miss a shift.
Well, I've been active, so just stay active. Don't beat yourself working all the time. Get out of the house, take a walk. That should work.
Certainly working for him. And we'll have a final check of your First Warn forecast after a short break. Coming up tonight at 6, Wisconsin businesses will be hit hard by this new round of tariffs, and we'll hear from a local furniture store owner on the impacts headed to their shop.
Finally tonight at 5, a Philadelphia zoo resident is proving that it's never too late to become a mom. Mommy, the Western Santa Cruz Galapagos tortoise, gave birth to 4 hatchlings at the age of 100 years old. She looks tired, doesn't she? The zoo says this is the first successful hatching of this species in its history.
Where did they come up with that creative name? Mummy. According to the zoo, female tortoises typically lay between 2 to 20 white hard-shelled eggs the size of billiard balls. The hatchlings weigh between 70 and 80 grams and will make their debut to the public April 23rd, marking the 93rd anniversary of Mommy's arrival at the zoo. 93 years ago, so 1932?
Wow.
Been there a while. Let's go to Alex, final check of the forecast.
A couple showers for parts of southern Wisconsin tonight. Not everyone will see these showers. Radar 3000 showing some of those showers trying to make it to the ground in Grant County over towards Monroe and Janesville, but it's battling some dry air in place across southern Wisconsin. Future tracks showing those showers intermittently, especially for areas along U.S. Highway 151, Madison, Dodgeville, Monroe, Janesville, up towards Watertown. North and west are there a little bit less of a chance of showers. We're not going to squeeze out a lot of water with this weather system, maybe 1/10 of an inch. But join us at 6. We'll track a cold front coming through Sunday night and Monday with some snow chances.
Well,
Not a
love
lot.
to hear it. Thank you, Alex. And we'll be back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. The CBS Evening News is coming your way next. Stay tuned.